From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast with Wish TV's Kylie Conway. A Wish TV News 8 update. Sponsored by LCS Heating and Cooling.
Hi, this is Kylie Conway, and this is your News 8 Daily 8 for Friday, December 10th. A cloudy start to the day with fog lingering around for a little bit. Showers are set to move in this afternoon with a pretty big batch of it just after sunset. And then later tonight into the overnight hours, more rain and storms are set to come into the state. The second round will be monitored very carefully for the threat of severe weather. So stay tuned to your Wish TV weather app as well as Wish TV, and our meteorologists will be hard at work for you, keeping you safe. All of racing is mourning with the news of the death of one of the sport's all-time greats. Al Unser Sr. died at 82 years old. Al Unser Jr. posted online this morning saying, "My heart is so saddened. My father passed away last night. He was a great man and even a greater father. Rest in peace, Dad." Reigning Indy 500 champion and fellow four-time winner Elio Castroneves posted a photo online as well with Unser Sr. saying, "Rip, rest in peace, Al Sr. You will be missed." Yes, Unser was one of the four-time Indy 500 winners. The last time we saw him, he was posing with the three other racers that had also won the Indy 500 four different times. Through a series of tweets by fellow racers, Big Al is being remembered. The Speedway president, Doug Bowles, tweeted early this morning saying Unser battled cancer for 17 years. He's beloved by many here in Indianapolis. The Motor Speedway president, he tweeted that Unser had the most laps led in the history of the 500. His 1987 win stands out as one of the most popular victories ever at the track. He came to the track without a ride and ended up piloting a car that started the month as a hotel lobby display to Victory Lane, and he liked to keep it in the family. His son, Al Unser Jr., won the Indy 500 twice. Big Al's brother, Bobby, who died this past May, won 3 times. And the tributes continue to pour in all over social media. Racers and fans alike are sharing their thoughts on Unser and how he made an impact in their lives and here in the city. And we have breaking news out of the United Kingdom. A British court rules that Julian Assange can be extradited to the United States. The appeals decision overturns an earlier decision that found that the mental health of the WikiLeaks founder is too fragile to be in an American prison. Assange faces espionage charges in the U.S. over the publication of secret military documents a decade ago. He is currently in a London prison. The new decision will not immediately lead to his extradition. Another appeal is likely. Health officials are bracing for COVID-19 surges across the country. There's a graphic released from the CDC. It's a big map of the country, and it shows community transmissions now and then. So let's start back in June. That map has some blue, which is the lowest level, a little orange, a little red. Those are the two highest. Mostly yellow, though, which was moderate. Fast forward to the beginning of this month, and the majority of the country is now in red, the most severe level of transmission. Indiana is no exception to this. According to data from the state health department, the positivity and hospitalization rate has risen substantially. We talked about that on Daybreak and here on the podcast yesterday, that IU Health is actually calling in the National Guard to help fight with the surge. The hospital network says its capacity is reaching an all-time high. The National Guard tells News 8 that up to 20 Guard members could be on the job for IU Health. Hospital leaders say their halls would be less crowded if more people would get vaccinated.
The vast majority are not vaccinated, and this really is a major surge of those that are unvaccinated.
IU Health says its staff is getting incredibly tired. Leaders fear that many may be reaching the end of their rope. The National Guard has already arrived at the IU hospital in Muncie. And the CDC is expanding COVID-19 booster recommendations to 16 and 17-year-olds. They are now eligible for it. The agency's director says in a tweet that she strongly encourages it. The decision follows yesterday's clearance from the FDA to allow boosters 6 months after the second dose. A new survey finds most parents are still concerned about the safety of vaccines. A Kaiser Family Foundation poll says 6 in 10 parents have worries. So we took the question to the experts during our Vaccine Central town hall last night on Wish TV. We asked community health pediatrician Dr. Suzanne Grannon if she's seen side effects in the children she treats, and mental health counselor Vanessa Enos about how to ease fears.
The major side effect that anybody had was just a little bit of a sore arm for a day or so. And the other thing I would highlight that I get a lot of questions about in my office is that there have been absolutely no incidents of the heart inflammation or myocarditis in that age group.
Our kids are impacted by social media and the different pieces around them, and they're going to hear a lot of things that are not necessarily true. They could be opinion-based, and they could be sort of true. And so as parents, caregivers in our community, we need to make sure we are lifting up just the clearest and cleanest information for our kids.
You can watch the entire Vaccine Central Town Hall right now. If you go to wishtv.com on your phone, it's at the top in the As Seen on Wish TV section. The state health department reports nearly 36,000 children 5 to 11 are fully vaccinated, and more than 76,000 have at least one dose of the vaccine. Schools in Fishers are scheduled to be in class as normal this morning after police deemed 2 separate threats not credible. They say 2 Riverside Junior High School students are facing criminal charges. Fishers police say they got calls from the district about a spoken bomb threat both Wednesday and Thursday. Officers arrested a 13-year-old girl for the first incident. She faces a felony intimidation charge. A 13-year-old boy is accused in the second threat. He's charged with false informing. Police say both students are now released to their parents. Students will gradually be making their way back to the classroom after last week's deadly shooting inside a Michigan school. K-8 Oxford students will return for a half day. This comes as the school district faces its first lawsuit regarding the tragedy. A family of a wounded student alleges that the school misrepresented the dangers of a potential shooting and acted recklessly. The family is seeking more than $100 million in damages. Here's their attorney.
They allowed a deranged, homicidal student to return to class with a gun in his backpack, with over 30 rounds of ammo in his backpack, when they knew he was a homicidal threat.
4 students were killed and 7 others wounded. The shooter is being charged as an adult, facing charges of terrorism and 4 counts of first-degree murder. 2 services honoring former Senator Bob Dole today. Family and invited guests will gather at Washington National Cathedral. His casket will then go to the World War II Memorial for a public service on the National Mall. The President Biden is set to attend today's private ceremony. Bob Dole died on Sunday. He was 98 years old. Purdue's time ranked at the top of the AP poll may be short-lived. The Boilermakers fell on the road as they faced off against Rutgers. From ecstasy to agony in seconds, Purdue takes a lead with a clutch layup with less than 4 seconds to go. Then Ron Harper Jr. breaks Boiler hearts with a baseline to half-court drive, then a heave, and it goes in. Purdue's shoulders slump, and Scarlet Knight fans storm the court. The final score was 70-68. Here's head coach Matt Painter after the loss.
Coach Katie used to always talk about it. He goes, when you go on the road, you got to be 10 points better than somebody. Because if you allow it to be close, crazy things can happen. We allowed it to be close.
The Boilermakers are back on the road Sunday to play NC State at 2 o'clock. And news out of the NFL, former Denver Broncos wide receiver Demaryius Thomas has died. Police say he was found in his Roswell, Georgia home. They say preliminary information suggests his death is related to a medical issue. Thomas played for the NFL for 10 seasons and is considered one of the best wide receivers in Broncos history, winning Denver 2 AFC championships and Super Bowl 50. He even caught Peyton Manning's 509th career touchdown pass in 2014, which at that point set a new NFL record. Thomas was traded to the Houston Texans in 2018, then finished his career with the New York Jets. He was 33 years old, and he would have been 34 on Christmas Day. This has been your News 8 Daily 8 for Wish TV. I'm Kylie Conway. Online at wishtv.com and follow us on Facebook when you search Wish TV.
Sponsored by LCS Heating and Cooling. This is the News 8 Daily 8 podcast with Wish TV's Kylie Conway. A Wish TV News 8 update on demand. For even more, on demand and on the go. Connect with Wish TV on Facebook at wishtv.com and on the free Wish TV mobile app. Thank you for listening. And be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast for updates every weekday morning on the All Indiana Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcast.